favorites in this one. So far, Bobby and Damian Hobgood putting on brilliant performances. And can we have another red jerseyed surfer put on a show in this one? Well, let's see, because in red it's Joel Parkinson, in yellow Travis Logie, in blue Adrian Buchan. And Parco, during the swell that rolled through here 2 weeks ago, caught what he said was the best backhand tube ride of his life. So he'll want to be around in the later rounds of this Billabong Pro Mundaka when the things will be back to barreling conditions. Still a couple little tubes out there today, Nick. What do you think?
Yeah, there's still barrels. There were a few more barrels a little earlier this morning when the tide was slightly lower. Up and riding now. Is this Adrian Buchan?
Yeah,
it is. Out the back, a big solid wave hits the contest zone, and that was amazing. The surfer in yellow passed that wave up, and
I wouldn't have let it go.
That was a surprise, man.
Yeah.
Travis Logie just let that wave go. I think maybe
he might have thought it was closing out.
He might have thought it was just going to shut.
Really hard to read on that first section.
Very hard to read. But here goes Travis now. He's like, not going to let that happen again. Gets away. First ride here, Travis Logie, and he comes unstuck. Just like that. Boom.
And Trav making his way back out. Joel Parkinson slips around behind him, back onto the peak.
That's right. Joel's deceptively lazy paddling style.
Yeah.
He's actually a very fast paddler. And a lot of these heats are going to be about positioning for the wave at the right moment. The lineup is so shifty. It's not totally broken up into separate peaks, but there are two distinct takeoff zones at different times. There's quite a deep one.
Sure. Straight off the peak, just in front of the harbor entrance, or about 50 meters down from the peak.
That's right. And just depends on how the windswell is going to affect the bigger sets that comes around the corner here. There's a wave approaching our competitors right now. Joel Parkinson has a look and lets it go. Travis Logie looks like he's going to pick it up. Out on the face, hacks a roundhouse cutback. Heading down to the bay.
Another carve off the top there for Trav. Ooh, really smacked that one.
Really nice moves here from Travis Logie.
Another nice roundhouse cut back. And, oh, interestingly, Ace Buchan was having a look at the end section of the wave behind Travis. And it'll be interesting to see how the judges score that. He had some good whacks in there his first turn and his second to last. The rest was kind of followed up with cutbacks. The last event up in Hosker, it looked like the judges weren't too into cutbacks, and they weren't scoring a whole lot of points, but nice fluid surfing, mixing it up a bit. Mr. Travis Logie, his first wave, a 0.83 throwaway. Let's see what the panel of ASP World Tour judges thought of his second one. And scores coming in slowly but surely. There we go. 5.17 first wave of blue, Adrian Buchan. 7.17 for that last wave of Travis. So looks like at Mundaka, the judges are, if you can link them together cleanly, cutbacks are scoring as well. A 2.0 for first of Joel Parkinson. He's out the back, sitting on the peak alone, needing a 6.01, but still only 3 minutes into this heat number 6 of round 1 of the Billabong Pro Mundaka.
That's right. And, well, you know, Dave, it's interesting. You mentioned the cutback, the different ways it's scored. You know, on a beach break, peaky sort of wave, a cutback doesn't present a huge challenge to a WCT grade surfer. Sure, there's technical merit and a great move, but here at Mundaka, a full roundhouse cutback foam bounce thing is a risk, man. You really definitely are taking the wave on its own terms and saying, no, I want to dominate this situation. And if you can pull that big, long roundhouse cutback, come back around, then connect the next section, judges are just going to be impressed by that stuff on a long, reeling wave like this beautiful rivermouth sandbar.
No, you're awesome scenery.
Looks like Joel Parkinson paddling for a wave here. Joel picking an insider.
But foaming up well on the bank. Beautiful long extension floater there. Another carve off the top, little,
well, you know,
speed check.
Cheeky people over the years have given Joel a bit of curry for his backside surfing, but he's cleaned that up over the last couple of years, I reckon. And no, he showed it really nicely there. Very smooth, graceful stuff. And now out the back. The kid in blue, Adrian Buchan, Ace Buchan, surfer from Avoca Beach in Australia. And you haven't seen much of Ace. If you've been watching the ASP webcasts through the year, you haven't seen much of Adrian, and that is because he suffered the slings and arrows of an outrageous ankle injury early in the year. He's been missing for
all but the last. This is only his third event of the year.
Unbelievable.
He started his rookie season at Trestles at Boost Mobile.
Oh God, man, that's so painful.
Yeah,
I'm sure that Adrian will be applying for the injury wildcard for 2007.
Oh, for sure. He will be top of the list for me. Oh.
And here we go to GT.
Good morning, Mr. Dan. Well.
Okay, well,
apparently a few technical difficulties with the audio and GT on the not on the beach, but down on the rocks here at Mundaka.
Yeah, we're sorry about that, folks. We'll endeavour to get Damo back for a little more a lengthy inquisition at the hands of GT at some point.
Looked like they were both very stoked to be down there doing the interview. So
Damo's always got something to say, man.
Yeah,
he's a
great kid. Gotta love his southern drawl as well.
Yeah, he's a little bit concerned about what we're going to say about him during these heats. And let me tell you, Damien, you got plenty to worry about. We'll be on your case. If you're just logging on with us, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Billabong Pro at Mundaka for 2006. It's a beautiful morning. We're going to be racing through a lot of round number one today. I'll guarantee it. We may have a little pause at dead high tide today, but waves so much more consistent today. Not quite as brilliant a quality as yesterday morning, but so many more of them. And right now in the water, it's heat number 6 of round one. Joel Parkinson in red, Travis Logie in yellow, and Adrian Buchan in blue.
There's Mick Fanning on your screen.
Well, he's in the next
himself up for the next heat.
Yeah, you bet. Mick's in the next heat. He had a great result last week, making the final. He'll be feeling really good. Up and riding now. Bam! Travis Logie from South Africa.
Plenty of speed. One of the most precise and technically advanced surfers on tour. How's that roundhouse cut back after that first snap? And again,
he's also one of the most underrated in heavy conditions. Travis, he's a lightweight kid, but tell you what, his judgment of heavy surf is really, really good. And he's also got a lot of heart. He's going to be the last guy to back away from a heavy wave.
And tons of talent, of course. Travis, the surfer who last year kept Andy Irons' world title hopes alive until Hedgie smashed him in the next heat. But Travis Logie did take out Kelly Slater in Brazil last year, which gave Andy one last shot at the title. Here's Ace Buchan.
Geez, that was a nice ride by Ace. He really timed it well, waited for the wave to form itself on that second section, and put together some really nice controlled moves.
Yeah, he read that one perfectly.
Yeah, these three surfers, very, very different strengths. Joel Parkinson, only 24, 25 years old, but so experienced already in the ways of these events.
The best, currently the most natural talent in the water, for sure.
And if they say, it's really all about the last contest, then you've got to say that Joel's the man right now. He's got a win under his belt only 4 or 5 days ago in Hoskilla, and
absolutely
so he's got to be
unbelievable surfing from him up there. He made it look effortless. He realistically just blew everyone else out of the water, Kelly, Andy, Fanning included, and of course not Kelly literally, because Mick Fanning did Kelly in the semifinals, but Parko versus Andy in semifinal number 2 was
I can imagine that was a great hit,
absolutely incredible. And Andy did everything he could, but Parko was just in that zone. He could do no wrong. And in the final, just about the same thing. Lots of people asking what's up with the replays. We're working on that right now. We will bring those to you as soon as possible.
I think we might be concentrating on bringing replays into the picture when we get into the
later rounds.
one-on-one heats. You know, that's where replays can really tell you something about what's going on. When you got 3 guys in the water at the same time,
much action going on in the lineup.
Yeah, every wave in a set's going to get ridden, and a replay is going to cause you to miss an important ride at some point. So we tend to steer clear of the replays until we get in to those one-on-one heats, which is going to be from round 2 onwards. We're right now in heat 6 of round 1, and we're going to stay here for the rest of the day. I would imagine we're going to get through a real lot of round 1 today, Dave.
Oh, well, right now, even with the incoming tide, the waves are still just rolling through the spot here. So, I mean, they were considering moving the whole event to Baguio today to finish off round 1 in the beach break. And as it is, Huey has said, okay, well, I'll give you guys a little gift and keep the swell on at Mundaka for the day. But, yeah, we're for sure, now that we're in the water and running, they definitely want to get the end of round 1 out of the way today. So that looks like what we will be doing. Probably taking a little break around high tide, which should be around 1 p.m. local time today. Looks like there's some lines out the back. Mr. Carroll.
Yeah, it certainly does. There's a constant procession of lines moving into the bay right now here at Mundaka, and they're kind of scattergunning. There'll be like 3 or 4 sets of waves. One will hit up here at the takeoff zone, and up and riding. You can see there Travis Logie's going to try and make it around this section. It's not going to happen for him.
Yeah, no love for Trav on that one.
Outside.
Pick the second one.
Yep, here goes Parko in the red, trying to chase down the line and make something out of this wave.
Parker looking for an 8.51 to move from second to first. And we shall see if he can do it on this one. But, well, maybe if he'd pulled that reverse re-entry, he would have had a shot. There's Adrian Buchan.
Oh, yeah.
How did he just motor through that section?
Ace has really picked up the pace on that wave. Long, accelerating top turns all the way down the line. And he's still going. It's another really nicely judged wave by Adrian Buchan. And
Ace, the Energizer Bunny, just caning it all the way literally to the end of the sandbar there for Ace Buchan. He's looking for a 9.01 because, as we were saying earlier, Travis Logie, really precise, technical, fast, stylish, smooth surfer, and good enough for a 7.67 on his second to last wave and a 7.17 on his second wave of the heat. So he's currently sitting in first. Second is red, Joel Parkinson, needing an 8.51. And surfer in blue, Ace Adrian Buchan in third in the blue singlet, looking for a 9.01. So plenty of action. All 3 surfers making their way back out to the lineup now. Couple questions coming in. People wants to know about the right wrapping around the island in the background. That's more of a toe-in wave, unless you're Nathan Hedge, who paddled out there with a few Aussie mates 2 years ago, I believe, and had a little paddle-in session. But there is surf out there. But the locals aren't out there very often because when it's good out there, it's usually better here on the left. Big shout-out to Alessandro Dini. Thank you very much for the comments, Alessandro, but you are biased. And as for the replays, once again, just too much action in the water right now to bring them to you. We'll be saving the replays for the man-on-man heats. And to everyone who wants to see more surf and less of our faces, we have passed that request along to our editors down at the other end of the booth. But afterwards, I don't know, I guess someone has a Carol fetish, I guess, likes to see Nick on screen. But every time they show us on screen, we're shaking our heads. So we'll try and get more surf and less of the aging commentators.
I'll tell you what, we are being helped by the nature of the lineup today. There's a lot of waves pouring through here at Mundaka. Even the high tide, or the rising tide, isn't troubling the waves nearly as much as it did yesterday, is it, Dave? What's happening there? Why is this seemingly unruffled?
Well, you know what? I'm really not quite sure, but just the storm that came through has really kicked up the wind swell. Now, this However, the ground swell was not expected at all. It was actually supposed to die off for today, so this is a surprise. And I don't know, just one of those things. I guess Mother Nature is kind of
Mother Nature
saying, I want to watch some surfing today. The top 45 are here, so let's give them some conditions
let's
to go
check
play.
this out. Travis Logie's paddling for this wave. It's one of the longest walls waves of the morning right now. Travis, boom, off the top, and he comes unstuck. Oh, that would have hurt his feelings, that one. Down the line.
Definitely.
Adrian Buchan up and riding, and will this wave take him down too? No, Adrian's determined to make it round and just flicks off down into the bay there.
But interesting strategy from Adrian, because he's really concentrating on like the last half of the wave.
He is, that's right.
And I guess it's working for him to an extent. He's got a 7.0 on his second to last wave. That last wave a 1.2. So, good enough Adrian's 7.0 to move him into second position behind Travis Logie. He's now looking for a 7.84. And Joel Parkinson, with two solid wave scores, a 6.33 and a 6.27 on his last, but needing an 8.51 to move into first. So Parko, the man on form and on fire as we left France, but struggling a little bit here in his round one heat number 6 of the round out of 16 here in Mundaka. Looking for an 8.51, but it's never over till it's over, and this one still 14 minutes and 15 seconds remaining, so plenty of time for all three surfers. And there's more sets rolling. It just is getting more and more consistent as the tide comes in. Maybe the incoming tide has given it a bit of a push there, Nick.
I think it has. I think the incoming tide's opened up the channel here, and the deeper water out wide is letting more sets come in. I'm sure that's a feature of this break on a full-on groundswell. But on a day like
see it on the push on with the groundswell,
But on a day like today, you'll see it more markedly, I think. All this wind swell moving around. Here's Joel Parkinson taking advantage of that. A long wave looms before Joel here. Belted off the top. He's already being challenged in the very first heat here, Joel. Travis Logie's really taken it to him and said, look, if you want to win this heat, mate, I know you won the last contest, but you better come on strong. Joel pulls into a tube, down the line, comes
beautiful.
out, and a huge floater off the end. That is a wonderful ride there from Joel Parkinson. Man, that's going to go close to the highest scoring wave of the event so far, I think.
Definitely. His ears must have been burning, Nick. He could hear us talking about him from up here, and he's like, boys, I'm going to have to ask you to shut it.
And here's why.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking for an 8.51, and I think they're going to have to give it to him on that one, because his second turn was completely vertical up through the lip. Then it had a couple setup turns. Another big bash as he made his way to the inside. Here's a replay. You can
see a bit of a replay here. Old Parko
setup turns there.
He's lining it up. You'll notice how Parko has the unusual ability to turn his whole body to face the wave backside. He's really starting to make use of it on this ride. You'll see each time he comes out of one of these elevator drops, his whole body is facing down the face of the wave, and it allows him to pull that nose up when he needs to. You'll see it there. He managed to get back on the rail for another big move.
His bottom turn halfway down the wave.
Arms up behind him like some sort of demented Gold Coast seagull, launching down the line, and out of nowhere, down the line, he's going to find his way into a barrel. It's not going to make any sense to anyone until we see it on this replay. Notice him setting it up here. There's the little barrel section, and he just limbally pulls himself up into it.
Little lay forward.
Right through that, and then the money shot here, the big end floater. He leaves it to the last minute, throws it up, arms back, keeps the nose up, and beautiful control at the finish there. And Parko knows he got a big score there, man.
Claim a 9.57.
Boom.
So, Parko, you can claim that one, as he did. That was more than a justified claim. So Parko moves into first. Second is now surfer in yellow, Travis Logie out of South Africa, looking for an 8.24. His highest wave score up till now is 7.67. And third in blue, Adrian Buchan looking for an 8.91. So the wave of the event so far for Joel Parkinson, but showing everyone exactly what there is out there. If you find the right one and you have the talent to do it, you can put almost perfect wave scores on the board here this morning in Mundaka.
Well,
and it's a good thing that they did run, because I guess we would have been kicking ourselves if they'd called it off. And we
I don't know if I'd been kicking myself. I would have probably gone for a surf, and
Yeah,
I'd be
no,
out there
that's
right
true.
now
Yeah,
going,
you'd be
ha
out
ha
there
ha,
frothing
ha,
for
suck
sure.
in everyone. Ha ha, it's really good.
As it is, they got us in the box. There's Mick Fanning just watching that last wave of Parko and going, okay, can I do him one better? We shall see. It's like he's must have lost some weight, Mick. He's tightening up that red singlet for himself.
Well,
you know, the back.
Fanning in form as well. Dave, I think you saw him eliminate Kelly Slater in the semi-finals of the Quick Pro France.
Absolutely, ate him
And,
for
everybody
lunch.
who's seen that heat has just been a bit slack-jawed at the form Mick was able to produce in the beach breaks at Hossegor. Let's see if he can reproduce it here at Mundaka. Coming alive at the business end of the season there, the Cooley kids, both of them showing everybody what's up at the talent level at the top end of the WCT.
Of course, Fanning took home the Billabong Pro Jeffreys Bay, was one of the standouts in Mexico, and Trestles as well. So there's a definite reason that he is now top 5 in the world and mathematically has a shot. Ooh, nice little cover up there to start it off for Adrian Buchan. Nice snap off the top as well. Making his way around these sections pretty easily, actually, and that's not an easy thing to do today.
And outside him, it looks like Parko is going for another ride. He got halfway out. The wave came down the sandbar, and Parko rides it for a moment. He realises that, no, this is actually a mistake. I'm out of here.
Back out the back. Look,
gets
for
off the
another
wave.
9.57.
He's got plenty of time. And if you're just logging on with us, welcome to the Billabong Pro at Mundaka for 2006. Critical event on the World Pro Tour this year. We urge you to stay with us as much as you can over the next week and just watch this drama unveil itself on the
Defining
sandbar at
moments
Mundaka.
in the world of our top 45 on the Foster's ASP Men's World Tour. Yes, we are getting down to the business end of the world title race, as well as the re-qualifications for a lot of our top 45 surfers. Currently, there are only 2 surfers on tour who are in a position to re-qualify through the WCT and the WQS. There's a lot of CT campaigners that have not backed anything up with the QS, so for our lower-ranked surfers, it's all about re-qualifying, and for our top 10 in the world, I guess down to number 9, mathematically, even Tim Reyes could be world champ this year, but it's really about our top 5, Kelly Slater, Taj Burrow, Andy Irons, Joel Parkinson, and Mick Fanning. Parko in the water, Fanning getting ready to paddle out, and there's young Mr. Sean Cansdell, who almost put a kink in Kelly's armor at Trestles. Of course, Kelly just slipped through in the round 4 heat, but Sean, a very solid surfer, and capable of taking down the best.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, you can see there, even professional surfers have trouble with their leash strings. I wouldn't be surprised if Sean had borrowed that off someone this morning.
Probably.
God, man, I don't have a leash string and
Just
my
whacked
6'1".
up a new board. And
oh, man, what's going on? Happens to us all, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yes, even to the world's best. 7 minutes, 25 seconds remaining. Still same situation. Red, Joel Parkinson out in front. Second yellow, Travis Logie. Third blue, Adrian Buchan. Trav and Adrian both looking for scores in the 8-point range.
And Adrian, the tour rookies, the third event that he's been able to go in this year thanks to injury, and I reckon this one he's getting a bit of a lesson in the talent level from Joel Parkinson, who was trailing the heat well back in third place, turned the whole thing around with the highest scoring wave of the event so far at 9.57 halfway through.
Parko showing everyone, oh, you guys thought that I was just a little tired this morning, but don't worry, I'm still on still on form from Hossegor. All right, and more sets coming in out the back. Plenty of emails coming in as well. Try and get to those for you guys, but not always the easiest thing.
Just such a flurry of action out here at Mundaka. There's little sets coming around the corner all the time. if you were free surfing, you'd be catching 50 waves an hour, I reckon, right now, even if it was packed.
Yeah, there's that much swell out here.
Out the back, Travis Logie, early heat leader, wants to come back now against Parko, of whom he has no fear at all. Launching down the line, Travis 3, explosive off the top moves, but can't pull a third one back down over the top of the foam.
Coming unstuck on that last one, yeah, and even if he had pulled that last one, Nick, probably a big ask for an 8.24.
Yeah, a huge ask. That's true. You never know, these waves can come together really fast, and they do look different when you're in the lineup out here at Mundaka. The judgment involved in selecting a really good wave out here is quite something at the moment. Outside now, Joel Parkinson in red takes off deep, up for a floater, around the section, off the foam again. Is he going to stay with this? Of course he is. The wave's lining up, and it looks like it's going to shut on him, but he pulls 2 big turns. The second one, a massive.
That was huge.
You know, round the clock, vertical backside turn that doesn't quite come off, and Parko's on his way back out now.
Parko still solidly in first place. Of course, he'd like to replace his 6.33 to extend his lead, but Travis and Adrian both needing excellent wave scores. Last of Travis a 4.47, of Adrian a 4.0, and Parko a 4.33. So they really, to get those scores, Adrian and Travis are going to need to pick up some good set waves and absolutely go to town all the way along the length of the entire sandbar out here. But they are both out the back and in position with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they're cruising. Here goes, I think, Travis going this inside wave here. Boom. Double overhead wave for the little South African bloke. Around the section comes Adrian Buchan right behind him. Adrian Wave's standing up a little bit better, I think, but unbelievably, Travis is just launching turns all the way down the line. Adrian pulling an almost Occy-like foam rebound on his ride. A couple of really strong waves there. Both surfers giving it a bit of curry, but I don't know if there was an 8 in that lot.
No, maybe 6s or 7s, but of course we're not the judges. But we saw the 9.57 from Joel. Just to give you guys a little idea, Travis's wave where he absolutely carved it to death along the entire length with a couple really solid vertical maneuvers in there, only netted him a 7.67. That was his 4th wave of the heat and hasn't come anywhere close to that score since. So we'll see what the judges thought of that last one. 3.5 minutes remaining, so basically both these guys are going to have maybe one more shot at Parko, who is up and riding once again.
And Parko kicks out quite deliberately there. He wants to hold position if a good set wave comes through. He doesn't want to be chasing a rubbishy little wave down into the dead spot halfway down the line.
Yeah, don't want to give either of these guys any shot at a quality wave. And he knows it because, he knows Travis took Kelly out last year in Brazil, almost took Kelly out in the last contest in France. And Ace Buchan, always dangerous. And the guys haven't seen that much of Ace actually at all, so full of surprises, the young rookie. So some of our former professional surfers and now commentating colleagues, Dino Andino out of San Clemente, California, and Mike Parsons from Laguna Beach are going to jump in a few minutes and give us a little break. We're going to go coffee up. 7.07 for that last one to Adrian Buchan and a 6.93 for Travis Logie. So, geez, Nick, you could jump up in the judging tower as well. Got a pretty good eye for those things. You knew straight off the bat they weren't going to be good for 8s.
Well, you can, one thing you can see in round 1 of any major event is that you can see the judges trying to set their levels for the contest. It's a little bit like a rock and roll band doing the sound check,
Exactly.
They want to tune in and see what they really think is going to matter out at a spot like Mundaka. What counts is going to be slightly different to what counts at a place like Hossegor, a short, super juicy beach break. At the back right now, Joel Parkinson, the man who's really done more today to allow the judges to set their standard with his big ride. Ooh. Joel comes unstuck. He saw that wave about to close out. I'm sure he just let it go.
Saw it peeling away from him. Just thought, I like the feeling of being up on the lip here in Mundaka today. So,
very
Travis
much
Logie. Well, a minute 30 seconds remaining. Trav knows that he needs to do something, but I'm still a little surprised he took off on that one.
Yeah, you know, it's frustration, really. Travis knows this heat's a done deal, man. He knows that Parko now has a more or less impregnable lead unless there's a miraculous set come around the corner. There is a set coming around, but I don't reckon it's going to be enough for anyone.
Not going to be enough, so things are probably over. Travis Logie and Adrian Buchan with 1 minute remaining really need a miracle to make it directly through to round 3. They will be taking care of the round 2 heats. Mr. Andino is ready to jump in and replace me. It's nice. We got the California contingent over here in Mundaka this year. It's all great. And coming up next, Mick Fanning, Sean Cansdell, and Yuri Sodre in just 45 seconds. So I'm going to leave my spot and pass you over to Dino Andino.